Now that we learned the theory of the structures and everything, so let's do some practice on how to map the swing structure, the internal and the fractal. So I draw this little example here just to give you guys an idea, so later on we can go to the charts and it will be easier to understand that way. So if you remember, the most important type of structure is the swing structure, and you will see them because they're the largest moves that you see on the chart. So like it's every time like that you see like the largest moves, that will be the swing structure, right? So those are the most important and easiest to spot. And I would say if you only know how to spot the swing structure, you'll be fine because sometimes all the little movements and everything, the craziness inside of the charts, it kind of like makes you like, oh wow, I'm not gonna be able to do this. But the main movement that you need to be watching is the swing structure, and the other ones are just more of a confluence that goes on top of the overall analysis for movement and direction. So let's start here with the first push that we had. So this was a big push, so we can mark this top here as our swing top, swing high, and then we had a pullback. So when we broke this first structure here with the candle body close, here you're not going to be able to see it because it's just lines. So just a reminder for you guys. So when we see a break here with the candle body close, so then we have our confirmation that this is our swing structure, right? So next we see the internal structure, which is a small structure, because you're not going to be, I mean, you cannot define, like, look at these big movements, right? So like you cannot define this as the same as these big movements. So that's why they're just like small movements that create the big movement, right? So these are all the internal structure. It just helps us to see where price is going and like how it is creating the large movements that we see on the charts. So again, so after you see like maybe a push or even inside of a structure, but in this example here, we have a boss, right? A swing boss. Then we have this small movement here. So this is an internal structure. And again, we use the candle body close to confirm our break of internal structure. So here, when you see a candle body close, like by a micro pip on top of this, then we have the confirmation. And you can see here, like I use the orange dots for the internal. And so here we have another confirmation that price wants to continue going up. And this is the fractal structure, which is going to be just like sometimes one or two candles. Sometimes it's just going to be like a small pause and like two candles. Like you're going to see like two candles with the same, with equal highs. Those are also considered to be like the fractal. So like we don't map this because these are just small pauses in the market. But you see here, like when it came back, it respected the demand that we're going to be learning later. So it respected the demand of this fractal, and then we had another push. So just keep this in mind. And as the price was continue to go up, then we saw a bigger pullback, which we can now like, okay, so this is a like a larger pullback. It's not like this, and it's not small like this. It's a larger pullback. I'll teach you guys in the next video how to make this a little more mechanic by using pips to measure these movements. And you'll see that every time that we have a push and you see that we have a bigger pullback, then you can already set this as the top of the swing. Because like when we have a bigger push, so like when you start to see a bigger pullback here, you can already mark this as your swing high, and that will be the swing low. So, and again, right? So when we have another candle body close on top of this line, this is the most recent high, then we'll have another swing boss. So now we're gonna have, this is our swing low, and we can only set the high here as our swing high when we start seeing a bigger pullback. So we can see, okay, this is a big movement. So if it's already pulling back, then like we can set this as our swing high. I hope you guys are understanding this. It might seem a little more complicated than it is. This will be one of the easiest parts for you guys, but yeah, just think about the movements, right? I always like this helped me a lot because I always think about like the movements, right? The high highs in every time frame, 1 minute, 5 minutes. I'm always looking, because if price is doing this, right? Let's say like it's just like moving like whatever. You see a lot of like 1 minute movement. It's still like a push and a pullback and a push, you know? So like this doesn't matter. Like what you need to be looking at, it's how price is moving overall on a bigger picture. So these small movements is just to catch the price. Like if you want to catch the price pulling back and then you want to take shorts. So that's what the other fractal internal are for. So continuing here, after we had this the swing boss, then we had another fractal, and so we had a little pullback on the fractal and then another push. So this is not, it's not a internal and not a swing yet. And then we had a choch, a bearish choch, our first bearish choch here, because it's reacting to a swing supply, which we also learn later about supply and demand zones. So like it's reacting to a very important area. So this is our first sign that price might start to switch direction. And like I said, it doesn't need to. Sometimes the choch can just be like it's just to facilitate price to come back to a place here. It will come like, oops, it will come to a place like here, and then it will push again. But in this case, we had a bear choch, which is the nearest low in this movement. So like once this breaks the nearest low, this is already a choch. And then usually it doesn't have to go back there, but usually this would be an entry here for shorts. You're gonna see later on our strategy, and this could be like some entry, so you can start taking shorts before it reaches a zone inside of here. But this is for later. But so okay, so after we had the bearish choch, and now here we had a bearish boss. So like after price broke with the candle body close below this, below this line, now we had a bearish swing boss. Okay, so we're not gonna be, after this break here, we're not gonna be marking with our swing low until we start seeing some like nice like pullback, right? Remember the push, like if we just see a little like pull back like this is not our swing low yet. But if it continues to go up, then okay, we can see this as our low. But if it just do this and then continue like this, just going down, okay, is this our pullback yet? Like if we see this whole movement, this is gonna be just one movement, and then price will maybe do a bullish choch, pull back to continue down. So okay, so we saw this small structure. So then now we have our bearish our bearish I boss, because it's the internal structure, because this is a small structure. Then we had a fractal, and then here when it broke the the fractal structure, the nearest high, now we had a bullish choch, and a price came to mitigate something here. So let's talk a little bit about this internal here. Like I said, guys, like the internal, the choch and stuff like that, like in the beginning, it's very good for you guys to be marking this, because this will like make the chart more clean for you. But it's not very important like that. Like if you can see how price is moving, just like with just with your own eyes, it will help a lot. But it's always good to mark in the beginning. But anyway, so we have the low of the internal, the high of the internal, And here, like you saw that I marked with a swing low here because we already saw a bigger pullback. But if you could see, if we're gonna mark another the internal, this would be like low, high, low, and now the internal it turned bullish, right? So you could make your dot here, one dot here, and this would be your internal low, and that will be your internal high now because this turned bullish. You know what I mean? But like if you look at this, I mean you could put a swing and the internal here just to make it more clean for you. But you can see that this was the low, high, boom. Now it turned bullish. But like why did it turn bullish? The price just turned bullish for the bigger pullback to come to mitigate something here, right? Like we don't know because we would have to do some analysis with the candles, which we will learn later. But price only had this bullish choch, and the bullish internal turned, the choch was a bullish choch, and we turned internally bullish just to mitigate and facilitate this movement, right? Which is the most important, the swing structure. So after that, you can see that price pushed very fast and pushed very fast down. So you can see that if there was a lot of orders here on the supply, then these orders was all filled, which made the price go down very fast. And now here we had just a small reaction, and then we continue down. And you can see price like swing high now, swing low, and like I was mentioning to you guys, just the internal, it turned bullish to help us with the pullback on the swing. And this will continue over and over again. You might see another small. It depends. This is all like depending on like how bearish, let's say here, right? How bearish it is. Sometimes if the price is very strong, it's just gonna give you some internal, and then you're gonna see another like a bigger pullback, and then you're gonna see and then you start marking like that, you know. So all right, guys, so let's jump into the real charts. But I think this was a very good scene, so you guys can see that the price, I mean the market, the charts are complex. It's not very clean like this, you know. But like if we understand this, like 100%, you'll be able to do your structures on the real charts. And once you start seeing like this kind of stuff on the real charts, you get a lot more clarity, like why price is doing what it's doing and where it's going next. And that's gonna be life changing, as it was for me, because before with other strategies or stuff that I used to do, I was kind of like lost because like where's price going? Like, so this is just a break and retest, but like where is it going now? And then and sometimes it would like do like a flag and come here and go back down. It's like, okay, it's supposed to go down. I mean, it's supposed to go up because this is a bullish flag, but it doesn't work like that, right? You got to see like if we had like a push, like where is it reaching? Where is it going? Where did it stop? What made this move here stop right here and made the move continue down, right? And like I said, like some people might see that, oh, this is still bullish, right? Because this may be creating a flag here, like 1, 2, 3 flag, boom, going up. So this have to go up. No, it doesn't have to do anything. You know, the price and the charts will do whatever it wants. And this, right? So as we saw that the swing was bullish, and okay, first signal that price may start to go down. But as long as this one was protected, the bullish could still come here and go up, you know, because this is a protected swing low. But once this was broken below, okay, so now, like if now you can see that price is switching the direction, and just before I forget, this type of mapping, like as we use on the boss, iBoss, everything, you're gonna see in all time frames, weekly, monthly, daily, 4 hour, 15 minutes, you know. So like this will work for all of the charts are, they all look like very similar in all time frames, and you can use this type of mapping on all time frames. So this make it easier. So you only need to learn once. Okay, guys, so let's jump to the real charts and let's use the same analysis, the same type of structure mapping that we use here on the real chart. So let's go.